Are you a giver? Do you enjoy giving to others? Do you feel that you're generous of spirit? Maybe you give away your time, maybe you give away your money, you give away your energy. You like to think about others, you like to help them, you like to be there for people. These are all wonderful, wonderful qualities about givers. And sometimes there can be a giver's dilemma. And that is when all the giving doesn't seem to be filling up the giver. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Magali Pesha. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you like what I share, please subscribe or like the video. You know all the buttons down there. So, today I really want to get into this topic with you about being a giver and looking into honestly with ourselves how being a giver might sometimes create some obstacles or some conditions that are not the most empowering or loving towards ourselves. So I like to call this the giver's dilemma. And when we have a giver's dilemma, we can find new choices, we can find new ways of relating to this beautiful quality in us of being givers that is healthier, not only in our relationships, but also really in our own being. So let's look at some of the dilemmas of being a giver. One is attracting takers that use your giving. So you can ask yourself, do I attract takers that are using my giving? How does that look for you? Is it friends? Is it family? Is it lovers? Is it it could be anyone that are drawn to your giving, whether that's giving emotionally, giving with your presence, giving with financially. And if so, just notice in a kind way to yourself, oh, okay, yeah, I do attract takers, and this is what it looks like. So when people are attracted to me because I'm a giver, this is how it usually looks if they're a taker. I notice in this way. Maybe it's a feeling inside of you. Maybe it's something they say to you. Maybe it's a way you feel about them. Maybe you want to rescue them. Maybe you feel tired after you talk to them. So just noticing that. And as you notice, you'll get hints of what to look out for in your conversations, in your relationships, in yourself. You are the best metric for this. Now let's look at number 2. Is my body suffering from needing to give? So, do you get tired? Do you feel drained in interactions? Do you not take care of yourself? When was the last time you took time just for you that would restore you at the physical level? Do you tend to not set appointments for your health or take care of little things like taking your vitamins? What happens at that physical level? Do you exercise? Do you value the needs of your body? Do you value your sleep? Do you value your nutrition? Do you value your emotional needs? What's happening in your self care? Now, this tells us a lot if we're having a bit of a giver's dilemma, and that would be putting the physical, emotional needs of yourself over here and instead, leaning into giving to others. This can be something we learn to do early in life because it keeps us safe. We might have the kind of home environment where, in order to survive that well, we had to put our needs aside and give to the adults in our life. Or it could be learned in a romantic relationship, all different ways that we might learn to put aside our needs and our physical health in order to give. So take a moment, be honest with yourself. Do you do this? And what is the first step that you can take to start honoring your own health, your own body, your emotional needs, your physical needs, things like sleep, nutrition, vitamins, exercise, seeing healthcare practitioners, supporters to your health, emotional support, whether that's friends or professionals. Where do you place yourself on that scale of taking care of yourself? It starts with this honesty and recognition. If you need to take better care of yourself, just own that. Say that to yourself. I am going to take better care of myself now. And let's look at maybe these are some of the giver's dilemma that might answer why. Why do we do this? Why do we not put ourselves as primary in our caretaking needs? So, have you convinced yourself in some way that you are not worthy of giving to yourself or that you're not worthy of receiving? That can look very different for different people. But what I've noticed is often there's a general attitude of feeling unworthy in some way, unworthy of having healthy love, unworthy of having friendships that are soul level, nourishing friendships, feeling worthy of having financial resources, energy resources. And so how does that play out for you if it does? And how can you imagine yourself right now being so worthy? You are worthy. Can you say, I am worthy of? And you fill it in. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of financial security. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of being adored. I am worthy of being respected. I am worthy of creativity. Notice what you're worthy of and just start noticing that every day. That will start to correct this giver's dilemma into a healthier state. And you can even imagine that worthiness filling you like a light, a color, a quality. It might be a warmth, a glow, and surrounding you like all the way around your auric field. It's not uncommon that givers with the giver's dilemma have an issue of having money and health flow away from them instead of flow towards them. So this is why it's important to take this action step of bringing it in towards you now. Doesn't mean you're less generous. You'll have more to give, but you do need to remove any obstacles to receiving in order to fill up enough on any level to have more to give. And I know you want to have more to give. I know, because it's such a beautiful thing to be a giver. Let's not forget that. It's a wonderful, wonderful quality. It means you're of service in the world. It means you're on a spiritual path. It means you're a lover, you know? It's a beautiful thing to be a giver. Now let's look at, do you value some forms of giving over others? So this is sometimes where we get into the resistance. One person might, let's say, really value giving their time, and that means they don't have enough time left over for self-care or for their own receiving or their own actions that create their business or their friendships or their love life or their family health. And because they put so much time towards giving to others. So it's good to then become a strategic giver. How can you still be a giver, but be strategic about the time? Some people have a quality that they give their energy. They might have time for themselves, but when they take that time for themselves, their energy is depleted because they've been giving so much energy. And in this situation, and I'll have more videos about this, when we're giving our energy, we need to first become aware of what that feels like for us. Is it through our worry? Is it through our distraction? Is it through our listening? Do we literally feel a depletion as we give away our energy? Because giving can actually replenish your energy. So this is something to learn, to give in the way that replenishes you energetically because you're tuned in to a universal frequency, or you're connected with angels or guides or God or the universe in such a way that giving is not affecting your own energy supply system. This is a really big one for lots of us, including me. I'm still working on that one all the time, all the time. So let's look at another form of giving we might overvalue, and that is financial giving. So if you're a financial giver, there might come a time when the resources are no longer there to keep giving financially. And then it's important to learn another form of giving that does not deplete you and gives at that level of emotional support, kindness, prayers, however it is. So you're still in the flow of giving, but it has gone from financial giving into another form of giving. This is doable. It's just like changing lanes on the highway. We can do it. All of us can do that. We can, if you drive, you know, you can change lanes, put on the turn signal, know where you want to go, and you ease into the other lane. You can do this as a giver too. Now let's look at, is giving to you a bigger ego personality? Is your personality sort of anchored to giving? So if your personality, your sense of self is very connected to, I'm a giver, that's what I am. I'm a giver, so I got to give. And then something happens and you can't give in that same way, or you're depleted. Do you feel less than or less connected to your healthy ego? This is common. It's okay. This happens, and it's important to really give yourself some self-love and compassion if this is happening or has happened, or you see that happening. You think, yeah, wow, my identity is really tied to how much I can give. So accepting that, and then actively, creatively knowing that there's other ways for you to feel yourself, that you are you and you matter, and you are very worthy of being your personality, of having all of that without needing to lean on a certain crutch like the giving, or uh, could be something else like martyrdom or sacrifice. Instead, you can be you because of what is beautiful and healthy and alive in you. Your creativity, your humor, your friendship, your whatever it is. You love writing, you love surfing. That can be your identity. It doesn't have to always be tied to something that is a limited resource. Your enjoyment of life, your love of things can be your personality. I know that sounds weird because sometimes we think our personality is just set, but I think we can work with our personality. We can actually develop our personality and allow it to expand more. We can also merge more with our universal self or our higher self. That is just because it is, just because we are alive in this human experience. And we can be that universal quality of ourselves. And not that we ever let go of our personality, at least I don't think we do completely, but we know that we can also spend time in that universal sense of larger self, expanded self. So let's see. We started out talking about this, but I want to go full circle a minute here. Does giving ever block you from receiving? Is it hard for you to receive? This can be one of the giver's dilemmas. It's hard for me to receive. So let's check that out. So one way to check that out is to notice, When was the last time you asked a friend, a family member, someone in your life for a favor? Is it hard for you to ask favors of other people? Just notice, and one way to correct this, to heal the giver's dilemma is to learn to ask for things. It can be as simple as asking for a hug. It can be asking for someone to walk your dog. It can be asking a friend to help you process something verbally over the phone. There's lots of ways that we can learn to receive, that we can learn to receive people's attention, their their care for us, to receive their time. And this is a beautiful skill, and you can learn this. And it just takes that decision now. What will be one small favor you ask for from one person? Choose a safe person. And then that'll get easier and easier. And it's not that you have to be asking for things all the time, but it's opening up that channel of receiving. And also, just alone in your room, can you just take 30 seconds and close your eyes and imagine the universe giving to you, giving you love, giving you comfort, giving you encouragement, hope, telling you it's going to be okay? That's also a form of receiving. And that's one that's really wonderful to practice every day. 30 seconds. I know we can all do 30 seconds. And this really ties into self-love, and to one of the giver's dilemmas sometimes is not being able to experience self-love. Instead, there can be more of a critical voice telling you to give more, to give better, to give differently, to give consistently, whatever that critical voice is saying. So it can stop the inner love part of you that speaks to yourself with kindness, with compassion, that has patience with yourself. And you can imagine this inner self-love as a helper that is there for you, maybe next to you, maybe behind you. And when you're stressed in any way, instead of turning to what can I do to distract myself or put this stress out in some way? Instead, think, how do I bring in comfort to myself? How do I give to myself right now? I'm a giver. Let me turn that giving towards myself with reassuring thoughts, reassuring images, activities like breathing, walking, having a cup of tea in a nurturing way, noticing what you need, that inner self-love flow. Really important. Really important to know that's a resource that you have. And there's one more question here that I had. Do you ever turn against yourself in this giver's dilemma with that critical voice? And how does that sound? I want you to be able to recognize it. So if your critical voice ever tells you you're not good enough because you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough, whatever it is, you don't have enough in some way, I want you to be able to spot that. It might be a feeling, it might be a thought, it might be a memory. And noticing it, we begin to heal it. Becoming aware of when it's coming, when that critical self or that critical voice is starting to present itself, gives us the opportunity to take care of ourselves. So we can speak as a friend to that voice and say, I hear you. Yeah, you're worried about me, or you want me to do better. But I'm going to tell myself right now that I have enough love to give to myself in this moment too, that I can respond to this inner criticism with caring, compassion, kindness to myself. And I can let myself know, in whatever language works for you, that you're doing a great job and you're learning and you're growing. And it might just sound like, okay, I hear that criticism. And I also want myself to know that I am really good in these ways, that I really care, that I can give in a healthy way to others and I can give in a healthy way to myself. All right. So I hope this video has helped you a little to understand if you are a giver or you know givers, whether you have one of these givers dilemma, and that you can take time right now to decide what's the first step for you in healing one or more of these giver dilemmas. I'm so glad that we can spend time together. And if you enjoy this video, please like it, please subscribe. If you would like to get more videos and meditations with me, I look forward to the next time that we hang out together. Take care.